For whatever reason you moved or are planning to move to Germany, be it because of the affordable education, a job opportunity, or you just can't get enough of those German sausages. Nevertheless, there's a lot to think and research about before making that big step. So here I present to you a video covering all the basic living expenses in the Federal Republic of Germany. If you are the type of person that would like to have a roof above their head, then you should consider your housing situation. In Germany, it really depends on what city you live in. So in Berlin, the capital of Germany, a single bedroom apartment in the city center on average will cost you 1,233 euros and 43 cents. Outside the center, 896 euros and 56 cents. Then the same apartment in the city center of Munich, which is one of the most expensive German cities, on average will cost you around 1,382 euros and 92 cents. Outside the center, 1,042 euros and 82 cents. So 10 to 14% difference. But a smaller, less known city like Dresden, a single bedroom apartment in the city center will be around 550 euros and 22 cents, and outside the city 439 euros and 9 cents. So the prices really range from 300 euros for a shared flat in a more affordable area to 3,000 euros for a 3-bedroom apartment in an expensive city center. If sadly the Wi-Fi is not included in your rent, on average a single person will be spending about 48 euros per month on mobile and internet. Moreover, it is good to remember the additional relocation costs, such as the deposit, which can climb up to 2 or 3 month cold rent, Kaltmiete. Plus, sooner or later you might get a letter saying you need to pay the radio and cable bills even though you don't use these services or you don't even speak German. The fee will be around 18 euros 36 cents a month per household. And last but not least, it is important to know that for some reason unfurnished apartments mean that you most likely will not have a kitchen. Just some pipes and a bucket. If you don't want to hear your stomach growling from days on end, I would recommend going grocery shopping from time to time. Food prices in Germany are generally considered to be quite low, especially compared to those of neighboring countries. It is largely because Germany produces and grows a lot of its own food within its advanced agriculture industry. But like in most countries, the basic costs of living spiked up nonetheless. The main difference in pricing you will find between large cities and small towns. Basic food prices vary according to where you shop, but these prices are the average for Germany. 1 liter of milk, 70 cents. A loaf of bread, €1.30. 12 eggs, €1.82. Also, we have these hard-boiled colored eggs that are sold year-round. 500 grams of local cheese, €4.45. 1 kilogram of chicken breast, €7.32. 1 kilogram of rice, €2.09. A kilo of bananas, €1.63. 1 kilo of potatoes, 97 cents. 1 bottle of mid-range wine, $4.99. That rhymed. Half a liter of local beer, 76 cents. 1 pack of cigarettes, €6.40. I don't smoke, but this one is expensive. 150 to 200 grams of Haribos, €1.05. For a typical shopping experience, you have your Rewe or Nahkauf and Edeka. If you prefer collecting as many steps as possible while shopping, with reasonable prices, I recommend Kaufland. And if you're looking for some more financial stability in your life, budget-friendly supermarkets like Aldi, Lidl, Netto, and Penny are always there for you. Somewhere. Plus, don't throw away your plastic or glass bottles, since you unwillingly paid a deposit for them called Pfand. It's usually around 8 to 25 cents per bottle. It might not be much, but it adds up, especially if you're a big fan of Diet Coke. So a single-person household will spend approximately 180 to 200 euros per month on groceries. A couple will spend approximately 369. Nice. Whether you're on a date or after a long day at work, you might want to dine out or do some takeout. A meal at a cheap restaurant for one will be around 11 euros. A mid-range restaurant for 2 people will add up around 57 euros. A fast food combo will cost you 9.70 euros. But an average price for a Big Mac is 5.89 euros. In restaurants, a tip is generally expected, since waiting tables is among the lowest paying jobs. But if you're not satisfied with the services, it is not necessary to leave a tip at all. In Germany, you tip when you settle your bill with your food server. You will include the Trinkgeld amount during the process. Many people simply round off the bill to the next euro or add a couple more, so 5 to 10% at a restaurant is appreciated, while 15% tip is considered very generous and American. Coffee in one hand and a pastry in the other hand, what can be a better combo? Sitting down in a cafe or bakery can cost you a bit more than taking it away. The average cost of a cup of cappuccino is around 3.50 euros for a medium. A German pastry, on the other hand, can vary from 1.50 to 4.90, depending on where and what you get. Transportation. There are many ways to get around town or country other than on foot. Public transport in Germany is a solid B. First and foremost, bikes. They are definitely not as popular as the Netherlands, since the country isn't as flat and sinking. But you do see people on their bikes from time to time with a safety helmet. The infrastructure also differs from city to city. Nevertheless, sports bikes are their first choice. A single bus, tram, metro, U-Bahn and S-Bahn trips usually cost between 2.80 to 3.50. But it depends on the distance you're traveling. Like most countries, you pay bus fares on the bus, otherwise you won't get in. But when it comes to trams and metros, those require an outsider machine that is sometimes confusing to operate. A passenger without a valid ticket can face a fine of 40 to 60 euros. For long distance travel, to see your long distance friends, we have trains. A single ticket prices range from 5 to 200 euros depending on the distance. And it's best to buy the ticket in advance, as early as possible, because the later you book it, the higher the prices will get. Monthly subscriptions also exist, based on your region. It can range from 60 to 200 euros, depending on the city. That includes all kinds of transportation. Or you can get a Bahn card for reduced rates and discounts. However, if you have 4,144 euros to spare, you can buy the ultimate Bahn card 100 for a year's worth of travel anywhere and everywhere at any time. As a student, you get your regional travel covered by the university, which is pretty convenient. Nonetheless, it is rumored that next year in January there will be a universal German monthly travel subscription for 49 euros, which is pretty dope. Even though Germans love their cars, owning one is not cheap, especially regarding fuel, insurance, parking and maintenance. On average, you will be spending at least 520 euros a month with the car not included. So if you have a driver's license, doesn't mean you should use it. But on average, people are spending 214 euros a month on traveling, whether by train or car. If employed, you will spend 14.6% of your gross income on public health insurance. The employer contributes half of it. Therefore, employees pay only 7.8% of their gross income. Nonetheless, on average, a person spends around 67 euros a month on their health. That includes medication and prescription. All other expenses are covered by the health insurance. However, self-employed people and people with salaries above 64,350 euros can opt for a private coverage, which can save you a buck or two. You either hate or love shopping, or maybe it depends on your mood that day. But every now and then you need to buy some new clothes or toilet paper. A dress from Zara can cost you 37 euros on average, and a pair of Nike running shoes mid-range around 82 euros. Plus, if you happen to find a cinema in the shopping mall, expect to pay around 12 or 15 euros. Popcorn not included. If you're looking for something second-hand, maybe even a kitchen for your unfurnished apartment, eBay Kleinanzeigen is a great option for that. The only thing to consider is that you might need to pick up the stuff by yourself. so that driver's license can really come in handy. The number one online store is Amazon.de, which is not surprising to anyone. Unfortunately, items like board games with English descriptions cost extra and sometimes is really hard to come by. Student life. Being a student in Germany is pretty advantageous. You get free regional transportation, museum and fitness discounts, free bank accounts, tax reductions, and more. Even though some German universities require some amount of tuition fees, the majority of them are free. The only catch is you most likely need to know German. If that's not a problem for you, you're all good. The only university payment you need to take care of as an international student in Germany is a so-called semester contribution, a fixed amount of money you pay for specific university services like travel, administrative assistance, sports facilities, dining halls, and so on. In conclusion, it would be hard to get by for less than 1,000 euros a month in Germany, and this rises to around 1,500 to 2,000 euros in the city where rents are higher. If you're living a student life, 850 euros a month can cover your basic living costs. With the recent minimum wage rise of 12 euros an hour, if you're working 8 hours 5 days a week, that rounds up to 1,344 euros after taxes. That covers your basic costs in a medium or small-sized city. However, earning above minimum wage will get you the opportunity to live in a bigger city or the city center, live on your own, or have a higher standard of living, such as owning a cat or going to a cafe and getting a cup of coffee with oat milk. That always costs extra.